Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography, where old friends, fans come together to BS, argue, occasionally agree, and discuss a musical artist. Each week, one of us selects an artist to bring to the panel for everyone to listen, discuss, and rank the studio albums. I'm Jason, and with me is Tim.
Hi.
And Bill.
Oh boy.
See, there's always a delay with him. And new to the show, our amazing Patreon Gold member, Trey.
What's up?
Welcome.
Thank you.
I've already said all that shit, but I didn't delete it out of my notes. This week, one of us did not select an artist, and instead our Patreon member got to select one, and he chose The Replacements. If you would like to choose an artist for us to cover, along with some other cool perks, check out our Patreon in the link below. So now, history with the band The Replacements. I guess I'll go first. It's pretty short. I've heard Pleased to Meet Me quite a lot. A lot of the bands I listen to always quote The Replacements as a influence. So I was like, oh, okay, let me check out their most popular record. And I, got that one. I never deep dug past that.
Most popular one?
That's the most popular one that I knew of.
I am surprised.
I was too after listening to the whole thing. But so, brand new discography for me. That's basically it for me.
Yeah, and I'll piggyback right off of that. So I knew who Paul Westerberg was from the singles soundtrack.
Yeah, I did know that.
And then I knew who Tommy Stinson was when he joined Guns N' Roses. I saw them live for like 3 songs at a bumper shoot 10 years ago, on the reunion tour. And I was there to see some other bands, but I had a little bit of time. I'm like, I heard this is like a pretty big deal. I should go check it out.
You was there for the pumped up kicks.
No, I was there for Bootsy and Mission of Burma and Luscious Jackson.
That's a good band too. Red
Fang was there. Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun year. But yeah, so like I'd never actually heard any of these albums though before, so it's a brand new discography for me too. But I was aware of.
All right,
I'll piggyback off both of those, and was not aware. Brand new discography, hadn't heard before, and yeah, I got thrown in here and listened to all the albums. It's a great time.
What about you, Trey?
So I really didn't start listening to them until about 5 years ago or so. I knew of them prior, but I probably would have gotten them mixed up with the 90s bands, The Refreshments, if you remember them.
Oh, yeah, not the same.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if I remember that one.
Not the same.
Yeah. I think prior to that, the only thing I really knew of them was the Can't Hardly Wait. The movie had that song on the soundtrack. So.
Okay, that makes sense. That tracks.
But I've loved them ever since I started listening to them. So.
And Alex Chilton was on a Rock Band too, I think.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So, that's pretty short. Let's just jump right into the first record. Sorry, Ma, forgot to take out the trash.
So right off the bat, one of the best album titles we've had on the show in a very long time.
I'll agree to that. What did you think of the music?
So I'm a little more prepared this week than normal. So Taking a Ride, I thought had some cool guitar work. Careless, I thought it was pretty catchy. Had a good arrangement. I thought the arrangement was really good. Customer, I thought was kind of goofy. Hanging Downtown. My notes say it's hardcore noisy, but you can hear the pop rock song buried in there. So yeah, on the surface, yeah, on the whole album, it's pretty hardcore. It's early 80s Minnesota, which I love hardcore. Minnesota's not my favorite city that produced hardcore. But they've got some good stuff, Kick Your Door Down. I've got It's Good but repetitive and a little long. Um, Auto, fun punk rock. Love the feedback. Top song contender. I Bought a Headache. Love the riff. Love the arrangement. Top song contender. And then Rattlesnake and I Hate Music actually have the same note. It's all right, but kind of dumb / generic. Johnny's gonna die. It's got a cool bass tone. Shiftless when idle. I like the groove. I'm gonna go with top song contender. I like that one. More cigarettes and Don't Ask Why. I just have to say, see Rattlesnake and I Hate Music. Something to Do. I caught the Husker Du reference. I'm in Trouble. Top song contender. I like that one. Love You Till Friday. Super fun. Shut Up. Really cool bass. And then Raised in the City. I just one thing I noticed with this band is their closers are kind of weak.
Yeah.
But overall, like it's a hardcore record. And if you're looking for a hardcore record, I'd say you could find better, but you could find worse too. This is right there in the middle. Pretty solid. They know what they're doing. And it's not like sloppy punk rock. Like you could tell they know what they're doing. Yeah, I liked this one.
All right. What about you, Trey?
So this album, I think it's a really good debut. I do think it's a little too long. From what I heard, the
songs 36 minutes.
Yeah. I like Taking a Ride. I like Careless. Customer, I like. Hanging Downtown's okay. I love Kick Your Door Down. I love the chorus build up to it. The cadence he uses when he says, "I'm gonna knock, I'm gonna pound, I'm gonna knock, I'm gonna pound." Auto, it's fun. Bought a Headache's good. Johnny's Gonna Die is an interesting song. It's about Johnny Thunder from the New York Dolls. Westerberg.
He was one of his. Did die.
Yeah, he was one of his heroes, and he was coming to town with. I think the band was called Gang War. It was him and one of the MC5. And
that's interesting. Because I was trying to like figure out what they were listening to, and I was picking up a lot of like classic rock.
Yeah,
which the Dolls kind of fit. So
yeah,
so that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, so apparently they wanted to open for him, but Husker Du got picked for it, so they missed out on that. And apparently Johnny Thunder was really bad that night anyway. So I like Shiftless. Yeah. Shiftless When Idle's great. More Cigarettes is okay, I think. I like Don't Ask Why. Something to Do I like. Them and Husker Du had a little bit of a frenemy rivalry type thing. So they are actually the reason that Husker Du started their record label, because they were so pissed off that the replacements got signed so fast. So they created Reflex Records.
I mean, this is how scenes start, kids.
Yeah.
Get pissed off at your other bandmates that you're pretending to be nice to. And
yeah.
All the people they were in bands with.
So, I mean, overall, I really like the album. We'll get into it with the rankings, but I think for me, the MVP of this album is Tommy Stinson, his bass on this. Because when they started, he was 13 and he was 15 when they recorded this album. And they were all drunks. So he, at that time, I think he's really what holds this together at this point. Because you said, like Tim, you said they know what they're doing. They really didn't.
Well, as far as like, I don't know, I've heard enough punk rock albums, especially from this era.
Yeah.
Where
yeah.
you could tell when when they're actually playing music or if they're just going fast.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And this you could hear like they've got some riffs and there are some really cool bass parts and the drums aren't they're sloppy but they're not out of groove. They're still in the pocket.
Yeah,
Whereas
I
Go
honestly
ahead.
think the weakest part of this album is Westerberg. I think the band itself is really good, but lyrically it's not quite there yet, and his vocals are just rough. So
I'll follow that up because I fucking love the vocals on this record.
I thought they sounded pretty good too, actually. Yeah, I could see where they're rough and they're not quite as refined. But yeah, he's got a real good tone.
The opening lines of the discography: stay right there, go no further, don't get a doctor, don't get my mother, it's too far to walk, gotta decide, turn around, we're taking a ride. This is a 3 out of 5. It's not great, but it's not bad. The song itself is fucking fantastic, crazy good opener. If it's Careless is like if you took 2 parts Minor Threat, 1 part Descendants, 1 part Kinks, and that's what you have. This shit is fucking good.
Yeah.
Customer, top song contender. Holy shit, what an opening. Curious how Bill is handling this album. That's in my notes.
3 songs in. I wonder how
Do you want to go back and forth here, Jason? I'll catch up to you.
Go ahead, catch up.
Yeah. So I thought that Take It a Ride had a cool little guitar solo going on with it. Careless was a nice quick hitter, felt like, tempo-wise and musically. And Customer, it was another fast-paced song and another guitar solo going on. I'm sensing a pattern here.
That's how Bill's handling it. Okay. Hanging Downtown. I love the tones on the guitar here. This could have been a Descendants song. This album came out 1 year before Milo Goes to College. They were clearly inspired by the same artist.
Just not going to my notes like that's something that's like, okay, this is Descendants, but not nerdcore is really like what I've been thinking up to this point.
I'm actually picking up a bunch of like Sex Pistols on here too, honestly.
Yeah, in my notes, I've got a couple songs that I'm like, they just sound like the Sex Pistols.
Which is fine. Let's go. We're only 15.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, with Hanging Downtown, I thought it was all right. That guitar solo, I felt like paled comparatively to the prior ones going before it, though.
Okay. Kick Your Door Down. The drums are simple but steady and pounding. They kind of make the whole song work.
I just put down that it was very repetitive.
Auto, super fun chant to sing along to. Little guitar breaks in between before it has this slow country blues breakdown about halfway in with Paul's voice on the verge of destruction. Then it speeds back up with a short, fast riffs. And it's only 2 minutes and 9 seconds long. I'm sold.
Fast-paced, solid punk song. I put that I didn't think there was anything super crazy going on in it, though. But it was a solid song nonetheless.
I Bought a Headache. Not sure we can talk about the lyrics on this one on the show, but we've all been here, though, right, guys?
Yeah.
$8.50. I actually really liked the tempo shifts that happened in that song. It really sounded simple, but it really, I felt like it really worked well. Potential top song contender.
Rattlesnake. Holy shit, Rattlesnake fucking rips. Depending on what Bill says about this one will determine if it makes it in the top song list.
I love how we're 6 songs in and Jason's just writing his notes around what Bill's gonna do.
I mean, I said it was a solid punk song. Is this a guitar solo oriented band?
I'm not really getting a positive or a
Interesting
negative
question.
on that one.
Yeah,
I'll put a question mark there. Might need a bonus cup. I hate music. Sometimes I don't hate music. It's got too many notes. The lyrics were fucking hilarious.
So it was a great song, classic 80s style punk. Nice bass really going on in that song. I really like the bass in that one.
Johnny, every time, even when they slow down, there's still this underlying chaos in the vocals and noise in all the right places. The na 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 sold it for a top song. The bass guitar tone was superb as well.
For Johnny's Gonna Die, I said that bass though, goddamn great. Loved everything about it. Top song contender.
All right. Shiftless, very Rolling Stones in structure and flow, but filtered through noise and feedback.
It was a solid songish kinda. I don't know. It was okay.
Cigarettes, it's crazy to have nostalgia when you hear a song that you've never heard before, but that's what More Cigarettes did for me. It made me nostalgia from my teens.
Thought it was an uptick following up Shiftless When Idle. But for me, it wasn't anything crazy either.
Don't ask why, it's The Descendants, and I'm 100% here for it.
Solid song, reminds me a lot of 80s and 90s punk. Top song contender.
Something to do. Any song with a Husker Du reference is going to win some points.
That one I just say good song, it's all right. I get the references.
You don't do
but,
the do?
I don't do the do. I don't feel like you do either.
I got to be one of like 4 people at a Bob Mould show once.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was strangers. I did not know them, but they were cool enough. Like we were all just standing right in front of Bob, like plenty of room.
I'm in trouble. We get an album name reference with Spend My Cash, Waste My Time, Take Out the Trash, Not This Time, top song contender.
Another guitar solo. For me, that one really detracted from the rest of the song in that one, though. Like, I don't have a thing against guitar solos, just to be clear. It's happened 90% of the time up till this point.
Well, I mean, this is pre-Nickelback, so there's going to be some guitar solos.
They used to be cool. They used to be in every song.
I can tell.
Love You Till Friday, and my notes just say rips.
More Ramon sounding punk is what I put. Had to read that. That was difficult. This is bad. That I'm having issues reading.
And we're on the first album.
Yep.
Shut Up, Paul's vocal range is insane. I thought they had a second singer for a second before I could tell it was him again.
Really felt like that one was the album starting to take off again, potentially leading into their outro song. So, it's not top song, but honorable mention.
Raised, I liked it. I can't say it's the best in the discography yet, but it was damn good. Now that I've heard them all, though. Real quickly, I love this record. I actually, I was halfway through it. I fucking bought a copy. And I love when you get a record and you can just see all the, the song, so many grooves here. There's so many songs on one side. That's a good record.
Yeah, it'd be what, 9 on each side?
Yeah, I think Johnny's Gonna Die is the... Yeah, that's side 2.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay.
So I did listen to all the B-sides. Like You was great. Now You Crave a Real Friend, and I Crave a Pizza Too. Get Lost, you got some name drops like The Clash, The Kiss. It's fucking great. Toe Needs a Shoe. It's a ripping instrumental. Basement Jam, I don't have any notes, but If Only You Were Lonely, top song contender. It's acoustic, but the lyrics were fantastic. Everyone should hear this fucking song.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I have heard If Only You Were Lonely, and I do like that quite a bit.
That was a damn good song. I get it. It was like a demo, and it's rough. But just the songwriting in it is insanely special. My final notes, the energy on this record, the juvenile lyrics, the chaotic teenage angst is captured perfectly. This thing is insanely good. I slept on this record. It's fast, it's dirty, it's perfect. This is not the replacements I know, but I fucking loved it, and I had to buy it. I'm hyped to move on to the next one, and definitely did my extra credit. So, this is going to be a long video because we got an EP to talk about, too. Did you guys listen to the EP?
No.
I didn't listen to the EP outright. However, a couple of these songs I listened to. Some of these songs on later albums are... Because I'm just looking at, like, Kids Don't Follow, White and Lazy, and Dope Smoking Moron.
I
Were
think
those
they
just on
like
this EP?
reissued them on the tail end of one of the others.
That's possible. Yeah, that's possible.
Because Kids Don't Follow... Kids Don't Follow is definitely top song contender right there. If only just for the intro, because that brings me back to college.
Well, according to Wikipedia, the intro is a real recording of the cops busting up a show, and that Dave from Soul Asylum can be heard cussing the police. Please let this be real.
For all intents and purposes,
You're telling me
it is-
Winona Ryder dated somebody, cussed out the police?
Hey,
Hey, you leave Winona alone.
if you like,
no, never.
if you like Sorry Ma, I don't know if you've listened to early Soul Asylum. When they were,
I mean, it's the same story, right?
yeah,
Started out as a
pretty
hardcore
much.
band and then got, grungified or whatever.
Well,
Really?
Printer, yeah, Printer was on the verge of losing his hearing, which is why they softened their sound.
Okay.
But-
we might have to do Soul Asylum one day. I got some Soul Asylum vinyl.
I don't mind their not their new stuff, but I don't mind their 90s stuff that much.
They just
I
put
don't
out an
know. I
album this
think
year, too.
Husker Du is my favorite out of the Minnesota scene. But I enjoyed this one. I'm gonna have to go back and AD them, and this gets added to the hardcore playlist. So
Real quickly, I'll just go through my notes for Stink. Fuck School, straight up 80s punk. Stuck in the Middle, fantastic lyrics. Goddamn Job. We mentioned a few different songs in the vein of Take This Job and Shove It by the Dead Kennedys. I think we should make an ODD Work Sucks playlist someday. This one will fit nicely as an opening track to that playlist. White and Lazy. Okay, they bust out the
but
harmonica.
doesn't Take This Job and Shove It by the Dead Kennedys start that playlist off?
No, actually, there's another replacement song coming up that should be the opening.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Because it's before he gets the job. White and Lazy, they bust out a harmonica. I'm sold. Then they bust into a hardcore outro out of fucking nowhere. Top song contender. Dope Smoking Moron. I would have bought this EP if Amazon had a copy. My wallet hates you, Trey. Go. Wasn't too big on this one. This is my first glance of a low point. Gimme Noise. I think Joe needs to check out these first releases, as I was getting Jawbreaker vibes from them as well. I love the guitar solos. Staples is great. Hey Good Looking, it's a fun cover. Same with Rock Around the Clock. His guitar sounds like it's just going to implode at times. And You're Getting Married. It's a rough demo, but the lyrics and songwriting is there in full force. I would love to have heard a cleaned up re-recording of it. Fantastic lyrics.
Interesting. Okay.
So what I'll say is I actually like this EP more than the debut album. This is one of my top 5 favorite EPs. They got the ability to record this because Peter Jesperson, the guy who recorded the first album, heard them play Kids Don't Follow. And he said it's time to do a second album, but it was literally 2 weeks after the first album came out. So the record label said no. And they let him do the EP. And Kids Don't Follow, Westerberg wrote that as a response to U2's I Will Follow, as sort of argument to it. But what he didn't realize at the time is that song is about Bono's mother dying, not. So it's kind of a weird. But yeah, his mom actually died at his grandfather's funeral. And that's what I Will Follow is about. And then Westerberg was like, no, fuck you. I'm going to do this.
I mean, it's U2, so I'm going to side with Westerberg on this.
Oh, I
Same,
will
yeah.
too. But yeah, I love this. Go is actually one of my favorite songs by them. So
Oh wow.
yeah, I love his voice on that one. The emotion they put through, that's one of my favorite by them.
I definitely need to go back. My rankings are all over the place because my notes are written off based off my first listen, but I've gone back and listened to a lot of these multiple times now. So
Yeah, and it's one of those discographies, like when you listen to the later stuff and you go back and listen to the early stuff, you hear where they were going, and it kind of changes. Like for me, it changed my opinion on certain things. Like I like Go a lot because it kind of indicates where they're going to go later on.
and that kind of checks out.
Well, and that's also like it's very indicative of a lot of the hardcore bands, where as the '80s drew to a close, a lot of them either crossed over into metal, or they got into just classic rock.
And
And
really,
yeah,
yeah, and really the way I look at them, I kind of look at them as like the '90s alternative band that didn't get out of the '80s. Um, and I kind of look at them as the forerunner because even though REM and all them were there, to me, they were the ones who got it right first and consistent. It's just they burned out before anyone gave a shit about that kind of music. So
well, and I'm gonna have to go back and listen to the early REM records because I was thinking of REM a lot, especially on the latter end. So we'll get there.
Yeah, there's
But
some
that's
upcoming
indicative
ones.
of a lot of that Minnesota scene.
yeah.
A lot of those bands really went in that direction, except Die Kreutzen, who I think are from Wisconsin anyway. So
Yeah, I think I referenced some of the early like IRS years REM on some upcoming
yeah, okay.
albums we're going to talk about, but stick around for that. When we get to number 7, we'll do our color code from Ramones Gold to Nickelback Brown. So you don't want to miss that.
Color code tells all every time.
Color code will tell all. We're going to put that on a t-shirt.
Hashtag it.
Hashtag color code tells all.
Hashtag # it.
Be safe and make good decisions.
And then you go a little woo, and then a little whoop, 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 and then it's all and then you're ready to go again.